It's your boy Rice and Beans back at it again. Well, now I'm Little Mousetrap Productions. Honestly, if you guys don't like the new name, then comment down below if you want me to change it back or to something else. I don't know. You really can't find Rice and Beans once you look it up on YouTube. Anyway, welcome back to Fantastic Flags. It's been a while. This is episode 2, and today I'm going to be creating a tier list of state flags. As you can see, I hung my bedsheet up for a good background, so I worked hard. Anyways, we're gonna start off with Alabama. As you all know, Alabama is, an alright, state. I mean, it's in the South. What more can I say, honestly? As you can see, it has like the Crimson Cross of St. Andrew, and honestly, it just looks like a red and white Scottish flag. So all I have to say is just try and be more original, but for now, I'm gonna have to put it in I have to put it in a B tier. There we go. Alright, next up is the Alaskan flag. As you can see, it depicts the Big Dipper on dark blue, which, the Big Dipper does depict a bear, which is an indigenous species to Alaska, so for the symbolism, I'm gonna have to put that in A tier. Plus, it looks like a really solid flag, so there we go. Next up, we have the Arizonan flag. As you can see, there's on the top half of the flag, it has a design of alternating red and yellow, with 13 stripes depicting the 13 or symbolizing the 13 colonies. Also red and yellow, it symbolizes the Arizona landscape. The star symbolizes copper production in Arizona, and overall the aesthetic just depicts a setting sun. Honestly, the symbolism is there. It's a pretty alright flag, but if anything, it looks like if Liberace had a flag. Too many colors. So, honestly, I'm gonna have to put that in A tier. Yeah, right there. Next up is the Arkansas flag. And honestly, it's really unoriginal. They just kind of, I don't know. I don't know if whoever designed it was a vexillologist. Because honestly, they just put the name Arkansas. I can't say. Sorry. Arkansas in a diamond. So, I'm gonna have to put that in state name on the flag for unoriginality. Next up, we have the flag of California. Now, a personal favorite of mine, although it really isn't good vexillology, it is iconic. It has a pretty cool bear. The red and the white on the flag symbolizes courage and purity, like all red and white color schemes on flags do. Honestly, it's really cool to hang up on your wall. Did I say that? I probably did. Anyway, since I think it's such a cool flag, I put it in S tier. But honestly, since it's fantastic flags and not what flag is your favorite, I'm gonna have to put it in A tier because it's not necessarily good vexillology. Next up is the flag of Colorado. Now, Colorado is another favorite of mine. It's great. It's a great, design, great color scheme. Very simple, and it also has a C for Colorado. Profound, iconic, leaves, never mind. But yeah, Colorado, I really like it. I'm gonna put it in S tier. Next up is the flag of Connecticut. Connecticut really isn't a good flag. If you can't see it well, let me zoom in. There we go. Oh man, very low resolution, but honestly, it's just the state, I guess you can say coat of arms, or state coat of arms, on a dark blue background. And with these state flags, you'll see a lot of instances where it's like this. So with that, I'm gonna have to put it in. Let me zoom out. I have to put that in F tier. I do like the motto, though. If you can't really see it, it says "Qui transulit sustinet." I can't read Latin, but I mean, That's how I pronounce. That's how I try to pronounce it. Which means he who transplants sustains. And I give credit to the motto. It's pretty good. Next up is, sorry, let me turn my page because I had to take notes. Too many flags. The flag of Delaware. Flag of Delaware, as you can see, let me zoom in again. It's all right, low resolution again. Sorry about that, but it's, well, honestly, if I were to say, it's not all right. It's kind of really bad. It's just, the state coat of arms, and honestly, I'm not really a fan of the coat of arms itself. I feel weird saying coat of arms, but yeah, that's really what it is, coat of arms. And it's just in yellow diamond. And what's more wrong about it is just at the bottom it says December 7th, 1787, which is when, of course, Delaware ratified the Constitution. But honestly, not good vexillology. I mean, it's fantastic flags. We have to stay true to our teachings. So we're going to put that in. Too many weird things. Now, next we have flag of Florida. What can I say? I mean, there's a lot of problems with this flag. One, not enough alligators. And two, can't even read what it says in the middle. I know it's low resolution, but like, if it was a flag and it was flying, you could not read what it would say. And hold up, does that look like the Alabama flag? Let's check it. Yep, that looks like the flag of Alabama. Oh wait, honestly, I think the Floridian flag came before Alabama. So before I was gonna put it in D tier, but now honestly, because it came before Alabama, I think I'm going to put it in C tier, right under Alabama Shadow. Next up is Georgia. Now if you can look at it, kind of looks like Georgia got too attached to the original American flag. I'm gonna be real here, guys. I'm really not a fan. Just the coat of arms in the middle of the 13 stars, and only 3 stripes. I mean, couldn't afford the other 10 stripes? Come on, guys. Anyway, because of that, I'm gonna have to put that in D tier. Just not a fan. Next up is the Hawaiian flag. Honestly, I'm a big fan. You can't really see it here, but what is it? Proportion of the flag from length and height is actually 2-to-1, which is not a very common proportion you'd see in flags. Honestly, a lot of these flags you'd see have very weird proportions, but just in comparison to other flags of different countries and nations, excuse me, sorry about that. 2 and 1 is very unusual. I do like how it's the 8 stripes symbolizing the 8 islands of Hawaii, and the British flag in the top left corner symbolizing its previous history as a British colony. Yeah. Also, this is the only American state flag that has the flag of another country in it, and its design. So, because I like it so much, sorry, I'm just looking at my notes, I'm going to put it in B tier. It's pretty alright, but that's all I gotta say. Now the state of Idaho, yeah, pretty unoriginal. I mean, it's just the state code of, well, honestly, it really does go by state seal, but with the flags of countries, they call it coat of arms, but these are technically state seals. It's really bad. It's just the state seal on a blue background, and although you can't read it because it's low resolution, the seal does say "Great Seal of the State of Idaho," and honestly, if I were to say it, it's not really that great. I'm gonna be real here, guys. So for them lying to me, I'm gonna have to put them in F tier. Oh yeah, and also because it has its name on the flag, it's going in state name on the flag, because that's a big no-no. Next up, flag of Illinois. I honestly put it in D tier. It's pretty alright. It kind of looks like there's an explosion behind on the water. That's America, a bunch of explosions, and then a eagle and Captain America's shield. How more American can you get? You know what I mean? But there is a big problem I have with it. Even though I would put it in D tier, it does have its name on it, the state of Illinois, and it has his name. So honestly, I would usually put it on the state name on the flag, but because this flag is so American, I'm going to put it in an F tier. I'm sorry, guys. Next up is the flag of... Sorry, let me turn to my notes again. State of Indiana. Sorry, let me zoom in. As you can see, it's a flag. Yeah, it's a flag, believe it or not. And it looks cool, but not too cool to warrant too much attention. It has its name on it, if you can see, but not big enough to warrant too much attention. It's like the state itself. Not interesting enough to warrant, enough attention. Roasted. Boom. But yeah, I mean, it's a flag, and it's a state flag. That's all I really need to know. So for that, I'm going to put it in C tier for common. Next up, man, I'm laughing at my own jokes. How loser can you get? Next up is the state flag of Iowa, as you could already tell. It's essentially the French flag with a eagle, and if you look very closely, you can tell that the eagle clearly has neck problems. Yeah, well, I mean, the reason why they modeled it after the French flag is because Iowa was a previous state that was part of the Louisiana Territory. So clearly that makes sense. I would usually put it in B tier because America, but just has its name on it. I'm gonna bump it down to F, I think. What did I say there? Oh yeah, same name as on the flag. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my notes. Everything's on my notes. There's 50 flags. Cut me some slack. Next up is the state of Kansas. Clearly this one's a huge mess. I mean, I don't even know what's going on. There's a flower. There's like farms. I know it's a state seal, but honestly, you do not put a flower on top of your state seal, especially with the background of dark blue like everyone else. And then on top of it, they put the name Kansas, because if you're flying this in Kansas, people don't know they're in Kansas. So, for that, I'm gonna have to put it in F tier. Or actually, what did I say I was gonna put it? Oh yeah, same name on flag / too many weird things. Honestly, let's just put some balance there. Let's just put in too many weird things. Yeah, it's bad. Next up is, I think, state of Kentucky. I don't know, it's hard to read. Same thing, state seal on a blue background. And for that, we're going to put that in F tier. Yeah. Now, what's next is, what did I say? Oh, yeah. State of... Yeah. So it's a state... Sorry about that. State of Louisiana. As you can't really see here, but according to its official description, the flag says, it depicts a pelican nurturing its young by tearing at its own breast. And the banner below it says Union Justice and, most importantly, confidence, because you need confidence in Louisiana. Honestly, usually it's not good vexillology, so I would put it in F tier. But because it has a pelican and it's, tearing at its own breast, it's pretty epic. I'm going to be real with you guys. So I'm putting it in S tier, very reasonable. Alright, next up we got Maine. My Maine. Sorry. Same thing, state seal on blue background. That's going in F tier. There we go. Next up, what do we have? We got Maryland. Maryland, as you know, is pretty iconic. I mean, some say it's ugly, some say it's weird, some say it's hard to look at. Others say it's a work of art. And personally, I like it because it looks good on Maryland apparel. Originally it was the... here's what it says. Sorry. Originally, it was the heraldic banner of arms of Cecil Calvert, who was the second Baron Baltimore, or I guess, yeah. Yeah, so it does have some history. You can look into it yourself, though I doubt you will. Yeah, it's pretty cool, and honestly, I put it in S tier. I just like it. Not good vexillology, but pretty cool. Next up is the flag of Massachusetts, excuse me. It's the coat of arms, but it really is just on a white background. So usually if I see the state seal on a blue background, I'd put it in an F tier. But because it has a white background and it's putting a little diversity in it, I'm going to put it in D tier. Give it a little applause. Next up, flag of Michigan. I'm gonna put it in Too Many Weird Things Going On. I mean, look at that. It's really weird, honestly. I mean, it's a state seal on a blue background. You know, I'm starting to think, maybe I should have made it its own category, state seal on blue backgrounds. But anyway, next up we got the state flag of Minnesota. Now, usually, I would say I'd put it in F tier, but because it's not dark blue, it's light blue, and it's although it's kind of confusing, the state seal is pretty cool. Instead of putting it in F tier, I put it in D tier. But there's also one more thing. My cousins live in Minnesota, so of course I have to bump it up to C tier because I think they're currently watching this. They will yell at me if I didn't put it in something higher. Next up is the state of Mississippi. Now this is a tricky one. Mississippi currently doesn't have an official flag. It does have the previous flag, which is this. And I'm not going to put too much commentary on that. But, I mean, they don't currently have a flag, so can't really rate it. So currently, state of Alabama is non-applicable. Next up, we got the flag of, sorry, let me flip my notes again. Flag of Missouri. It's essentially the flag of the Netherlands, but with the state seal. So we're gonna put that in D tier. Yeah, there we go. Next up is the state of Montana. Really bad. It really is bad. It's a state name on it. I mean, and look at the seal. That's just, I think that's horrible. Too vivid of color. State seal on black background with the state name on it. Honestly, I don't like it. I never will. And if you live in Montana, sorry. But this one's going in state name on the flag. Worse than F. Next up is the state of Nebraska. Nebraska. Same thing, state seal on blue background. It's probably getting a bit old, so I'm just going to put it in F tier. Next up, state of Nevada. State seal on black background. Honestly, they put a silver star there, which is a little nod to their little nickname, the Silver State. So, honestly, they think they're clever. They're not. But for that, I'm gonna give them applause. They tried. I'll put it in D tier instead of F tier. Next up is the state of New Hampshire. Same thing, state seal with blue background. So we're putting that in F tier. Do we have it? Yeah, we have new space. Awesome. Next up, we got the flag of New Jersey. Yeah, New Jersey. Honestly, it's essentially the same thing. State seal, but instead of a blue background, it's a tan color. New Jersey tries to be different. I mean, that's how they are. It's not good though. Honestly, I really don't like it. And honestly, but anyway, I'm gonna put this in D tier because I live in the state that borders New Jersey. Anyway, next up is New Mexico. Finally something new. Finally something better than just the, copycats. Anyway, I really do like New Mexico. Well, at least the flag. Let me check my notes. Sorry. Great vexillological design. It consists of the red sun symbol of the indigenous Zia people. Overall, it just looks great. Honestly, I'm gonna have to put that in S tier. Just for a change of pace, honestly. Yeah, there we go. We're back. Next up, state of New York. Honestly, this is my home state. The 33 viewers that are currently watching me right now already know that, and we're back to being unoriginal, unfortunately. Honestly, I'd put it in F tier for having the state seal on blue background, but it is a cool state. So maybe I'll bump it up to D tier, and I live there, so let's bump it up to C tier. Now we have the flag of North Carolina. North Carolina. Here, let me flip to my notes again. Sorry about that. North Carolina. Honestly, what can I say? It's North Carolina. If you can kind of notice, excuse me, as you can kind of notice, it just copies the flag of Texas. They just put their name tag, North Carolina, on the flag of Texas. So honestly, they tried to fool us. They didn't, because we're smarter than that. So we're gonna put them in F tier for fooled. Next up is the flag of, not North Carolina, North Dakota. North Dakota, same thing, state seal on blue background. I mean, there's an eagle, and it's pretty patriotic. But I don't like it. I'm sorry. I have to put it there. Now, what a turn of events. Guess what? We have the flag of Ohio. Now, this is a special flag because this isn't even a rectangle. Whoever made this wanted to compensate for how boring Ohio is. So they just made it out as outrageous as possible. Oh, and they put a little O there. I didn't realize. Anyway, yeah, but you know, I'm gonna have to put that in. I would usually put that in S tier because it's so cool and so different, so quirky. But since Ohio's so empty, I'm gonna have to put that in A tier. And you know, the only thing I can say about Ohio, the only thing I know that's from Ohio, or rather, the only person I know from Ohio, is Miss Maisie. I know she's not watching, but my fellow 33 viewers should probably know her. May she rest in peace, or rather, be remembered, because she's not dead. Next up is the flag of Oklahoma. Not really a seal, state seal, but still a symbolic image. And it does have a blue background, but light blue. So it's kind of getting to the originality, kind of. And also, the font kind of looks like the font you'd see in a Geico promotion board. So for that, I'm gonna have to put that in D tier. It's new. It's quirky. It's something we want. Anyway. Next up is the state of Oregon. Now, this is a huge mess. Obviously, you can see it has the usual state seal with a blue background. What's worse is they have the word, the sentence state of Oregon, or the phrase state of Oregon on top of the state seal. And they have the date it was initiated into the country. Now, honestly, they didn't even get this straight. They curved it. I don't know why. Doesn't look good. In fact, it looks so bad, I'm thinking that maybe we should create a new category for it. We'll add a row below. And, we are going to label it, what are we going to label it? Label it the Shadow Realm. Because that's where it belongs. Anyway. Yeah, that's where it goes. State of Oregon. It's really bad. Sorry, guys. Next up, state of... Oh, yeah, by the way, the state of Oregon has a second side to it, which is kind of weird, but the second side, it doesn't have a picture here. Sorry. But the other side of it just shows a yellow beaver, and beavers are cool, so, yeah, I would probably move it up, but you can't move out of the Shadow Realm. Sorry, guys. What's next? The flag of Pennsylvania. You know, didn't expect Pennsylvania to have such a weird flag. It's a state seal, again on a blue background. But, you know, I'd usually put it in F tier, but because Pennsylvania has really good cheesesteak sandwiches, I'm gonna have to put them in D tier. Next up is Rhode Island. First of all, as you already know, Rhode Island isn't an island. I know, it's heartbreaking. False advertising, clearly. Second thing is the anchor in the middle of the flag just reminds me more and more of how Rhode Island isn't a flag, and that's truly devastating to me. So, I mean, yeah, so it clearly belongs in F tier. It's outrageous. Well, you know what? Since it's such a well-designed flag, I'm thinking we should just bump it up to D tier. I know what I said. But you know what? Let's give it a chance. Alright, now we got South Carolina. South Carolina, pretty alright flag. There's a lot of symbolism in it. It goes back to Civil War and stuff. But honestly, this video is getting pretty long, so I think I'm just going to cut it back and put this in B tier. You know, it's pretty average. Next up, we got the flag of South Dakota. It is what it is. Has the state name on it. Honestly, I put it in D tier, but since it has a state name on it, I have to bump it down to an average of F tier, or rather, round it down to F tier. Excuse me. Next up, we got the flag of Tennessee. Tennessee is, Tennessee's Tennessee. You already know that. So Tennessee, I'm going to have to say it's a pretty alright flag. Pretty good vexillology. The 3 stars symbolize the 3 different, parts of Tennessee. I think West Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, and East Tennessee. I think that's what they say. Yeah. Anyway, it's not important, or maybe it is, but I don't take any mind to it. So because it's pretty all right, and we're gonna put it in an A tier for all right. Next up, we got the flag of Texas. Texas pretty simple, simple yet profound. You know what I think? You know what I mean? It's iconic like California, but honestly, there's no mistakes in the vexillology whatsoever. So I applaud it, and I'm going to put it in S tier. Super duper. I think that's actually. Never mind. Next up, we got the flag of Utah. Same thing. State seal on blue background. We're putting that in F tier. State seal, blue background. We're putting that in F tier. Don't even need to know. Actually, what state is it? Is Utah then? Vermont. State of Vermont. Flag of Virginia, I think. Yeah, this is the flag of Virginia. It has the state name, but honestly, I can't really see it well. So, I won't take any mind to it. It's an F tier. Flag of Washington. Now, this is kind of silly, because it honestly just looks like a $1 bill, especially since it's green and has the face of George Washington. Excuse me. So, you know what? Because of that, I'm going to put that in D tier. D tier. For dollar. Next up, we got, flag of West Virginia. Unfortunately, you can't really see it well, but it does have a border around it, the original flag, which is a big no-no in vexillology, as I said in my previous episode. It also has a state name, so honestly, I'll just put that in F tier. I really don't care anymore. Actually, no. You know what? I'll put it in state name on the flag. Wisconsin. Equally as bad as the state of Oregon, or as the flag of state of Oregon. And what's worse is the flag of Oregon actually was made before the flag of Wisconsin, meaning that Wisconsin clearly, as well, we can infer pretty well that maybe Wisconsin may have taken a little bit of notes, maybe not a little bit of notes, a few notes from Oregon. I don't know why, but they did. So they're also in the Shadow Realm. I wish I had some Photoshop alternatives so I can put them in their shadow, but you know what? That's fine. Next up, last but not least, we got the flag of Wyoming. Yeah, Wyoming. Wyoming is pretty good. It's Wyoming. It has a border around it. You can't really see, but it does. It has a state seal, and I think the state seal even has the name of Wyoming on it. But I think we can forgive that because there's a bison on it. So, because there's a bison on it, and bison are so cool, we're putting that in S tier. And I think that's it, except for this one, because that's not technically the right flag. Oh, no, don't go back. Sorry about that. Anyway, that's it. That's all we got. I won't go over it again, because honestly, I'm too tired for this. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Fantastic Flags episode 2. Once again, if you want me to change the name of my YouTube channel, I'm open to ideas. Honestly, don't know, because when I tell people about my YouTube channel, they have a hard time, looking up the name, because rice and beans is actually a very, often used name. So, yeah. We're also overshadowed by Beans and Rice TV. I know it's tragic, but we'll get there, guys. But for now, it's Little Mouse Shark Productions, like my rapper name. So that should be it. Don't subscribe, don't like, don't share, don't retweet. This is reverse psychology. Anyway, gosh. Alright, bye bye.